Welcome back. You already know what they did to me. Let's get into it.
I feel like as the weeks go on, it just doesn't get better for you. Like, it's just continuously...
My psyche is...
like, it's continuously just going downhill. Like, we can laugh and joke all we want, but it's like...
It's starting to affect me brain.
Straight in. Here are all the results. Okay? Saturday to Sunday, and then the last game on Monday. Saturday, a lot of the games, the majority of the games were played.
Yeah.
We see Newcastle 1-0 over Brentford. Big result, you could say. Man City 3-1 over West Ham. Come on, Manchester City. Spurs 2-1 over Sheffield. Some late drama in that game
we'll
to get into. Brighton 3-1 over Man United. We'll get into.
Skip it.
Fulham 1-0 over Luton. Luton are going down. Villa, Crystal Palace. Villa with 3-1 win, back to winning ways. What we're wanting to see, what people were expecting to see, from Villa.
Yep.
Liverpool 3-1 over Wolves. We expect that.
You kind of just don't really think anything other than that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Moving into Sunday, we saw Arsenal. Huge 1-0 over to Everton. You could say it's huge because the history behind this result and some other things we'll get into later on. Bournemouth, Chelsea 0-0. Come on, Bournemouth. Got Tyler Adams. He's not in right now, but
he's around.
He's on that team, so we want to see him
there.
doing good. And Chelsea dissed him, so fuck Chelsea. And then Monday, a magnificent peach of a goal from Callum Hudson-Odoi. And Matt Turner playing good for Nottingham Forest as well in this 1-1 draw versus Burnley.
So like we said, all the 10 o'clock games on Saturday. We're going to skip over the Liverpool-Wolves a little bit. To be honest, over here in the US&A, it's a little too early for us for a team that we both hate.
Don't care.
So we're going to move past it.
Don't care.
First I want to talk about, though, City, West Ham.
Manchester City, 3-1 over West Ham. Papa. Probably
don't.
not. Who knows?
You already seen him go through.
Ward-Prowse. Okay, we'll start from the beginning as we always do. Line up. Manchester City looking good, looking solid. Alvarez getting the start. Pep saying he's pretty much undroppable. That's how good this guy's been.
Also, Foden in the midfield. Just want to throw that out, Gareth.
Okay, Foden, he lined up sort of in the midfield. He was drifting inward. But I will say there was a lot of him on the right. Okay, I'll be honest.
There's some switches.
It's just
some
how
fluid
City,
movement.
It's how City go. He was on the right for a good majority, though. From the beginning, though, strong lineup. Doku with the start. Doku, magnificent performance. Okay, overall.
Really
Again,
good goal.
Going back to the beginning, though. Ward-Prowse goal. Little Paqueta. He's like that. And then Sufal over to Ward-Prowse for a header. Ward-Prowse getting a header, we don't see that.
You really expect him to score from those set pieces, those free kicks, corners, what have you. But he is really good still. Like, he is a solid quality player that contributes well to this West Ham team.
For sure.
That we're able to hold a lead for a little bit against City, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really say enough. This guy was on a relegated Southampton team. Now he's, again, back in the Premier League with West Ham, who had a bad season, you could say, last year.
They're not going to win the Prem.
No. We are seeing signs, though. They're off to a really good start.
If they could get in a run on this Europa League here starting up in the next couple of weeks, they could be a dangerous team later in the year.
Yeah, for sure. He scores. Later on in the game, we go down. It's 1-0. Okay, halftime not looking very good. We're all disappointed. Come on, 1-0 down, Manchester City. What are we gonna do? I'll tell you what we're gonna do. Jeremy Doku, who is giving Kufau, whoever, the business, the absolute business. Put this man on one-on-one, and yes, you can have your opinions on that West Ham right back, but. Absolute saucy performance.
Good performance from Doku. Absolutely put, a lot of these City players and attackers on notice.
Yeah.
Headband man, nowhere to be found. I mean, Doku is a complete opposite type player. He's very direct. He runs at you with the ball. He's not going to be passing and doing the one. He is going to just get after it.
Yeah.
And that's what they brought him in to do, and that's what he's shown.
I'm very confident with Doku coming in. This is going to bring new Jack Grealish to light, right? It has to. He has real competition at left wing. You could say Foden was kind of his competition, but Foden's really a versatile.
He's a utility player. He can fit
he's
in
everywhere,
anywhere.
you know? So he didn't have that solid left wing competition, right?
Definitely.
Mahrez is gone, Grealish, and now Doku. They could for sure play together, you know? Doku on the right, Grealish on the left.
No problem.
It could definitely happen. But now he has real competition on that wing. So this is making me think he's going to thrive. I want to see him take on more people. I'm not going to say he's as good as Doku is at the one-on-ones, the skills and things. But we've seen that from Jack Grealish. We know he can do that.
And he does do that well. You know,
Yeah.
he is a very technical player. He's the sort of player that works in a lot of systems. But with Pep, it seems like those wingers really just have to get forward and get the ball into the box, whether that's by dribbling it in or crossing. It's just something that Grealish hasn't been able to really.
It's just something.
It's just something that he hasn't been able to perfect yet.
Yeah.
And you can't blame Pep for bringing in Doku.
We see. I want to see it from Grealish now. This is it. This is his benchmark to go crazy now. Julian Alvarez again showing out. This kid is unbelievable. The way he plays, he's like a 10, false 9, playing right behind Haaland. This kid is the truth. All right, people are like, he's like the backup to Haaland. He's not the backup to nobody. He's getting in the team because he's just kind of like a little bit like Phil Foden. Like, he's more versatile up front in terms of playing like a 10. He can play striker, left wing, right wing. Okay, but Foden can play a little midfield and whatnot. But Alvarez has got that versatility too.
You know, I know this is the section where we're talking about City and how important Alvarez is for them, but I just want to remind you guys there was a certain somebody that, you know, recommended that he signed for United that we just kind of tossed to the wayside. We'll get into that later, but, you know, just know we could have had him.
It's amazing to see. This kid, like, he's just a peach to watch.
World Cup winner.
Oh,
I
there
mean,
we go. World Cup
Champions
winner.
League winner.
He's won everything.
The kid's trophy haul is insane. Like, you can't dispute that. He has almost the
Probably
most
the
trophies.
most decorated player this season.
Probably, yeah. So should he
Has
win
to
the Ballon d'Or automatically?
Is that how that works? Because we did it for Jorginho a few seasons ago.
No, I'm saying if we do it for Haaland.
Oh, no. Okay, Haaland. We need to get into Haaland. This man pissed me off a little bit, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. Gavardio on the left side, whipping in a cross. Haaland. Oh, just missed this sitter, bro. It's what you expect him to tap in, right? It's what he's there for. Those were the chances we were missing 2 seasons ago when we didn't have him, when we had said Arsenal striker up front, okay? Those were the chances we were missing then. That's not what we miss now, okay? He had 2 of those.
Yeah.
He had 2 of those when we were down 1-0, okay? Doku had to bring it back in.
That could have been a very different game. Like
Yes.
Tanner said, those Haaland chances were very important in that time. There were glimpses there where it looked like if they don't get one back here soon, then West Ham can kind of control the rest of the game.
West Ham are fucking holding it down in the back, man,
They
the
know
whole
what they're
time. They are
It's
a
Moise.
decently well-structured team, especially this year. The way they've started is very, very impressive. So, playing against City, I mean, they had a little bit of confidence coming into this. And you can kind of tell at the beginning, you know? At the end, we see a trail off, though. Bernardo Silva, he's in the right spot all the time. The little man, he just knows what to do. He's a genius. I'm so glad he's here. I'm so glad he stayed. We've seen rumors that he might sign a new contract and he'll probably have like a release clause for Barcelona.
Million, potentially.
And I'm wearing the jersey. How about that? Erling Haaland, though, does get on the score sheet after 86 minutes. We were hoping. I was hoping.
We were not hoping.
This man would score. I was just like, he needs to. He had all these opportunities. He just couldn't put those away. I want to see it. And then he does score. We see a very bad, gritty attempt from Haaland. I want to say it was very disappointing, especially when you're comparing it to Doku. Doku, again, every time I say his name, I just think about bringing him up. He's just got the sauce for us now. He's just a new light. He's just a new light in this Manchester City team. I love to see it. 3-1, though, over West Ham. It's what we expected to see, in all honesty. So, we'll take it.
One thing we were not expecting, however, going into this, 90th minute here for the Tottenham game was a comeback.
The 100th minute, the 110th minute.
Pardon me. This game was crazy. Everyone watched and expected Sheffield to finish it out. Maybe you could see Spurs getting forward. Maybe they got one back, potentially. But this came out of damn near nowhere.
Yeah, it's insane. I'm a little upset to see it because we saw Trusty, a American center back, come on later in the game, and then they conceded the 2 goals.
Yeah.
We're not gonna fault
his
him.
fault.
It was a collapse from
coincidence.
Sheffield. It was a collapse from it is a coincidence. Yeah, I mean, it's a coincidence. It was a collapse from Sheffield at the end, and Tottenham just took it on. And this extra time stuff, I mean, you can feel how you want to feel about it, but Tottenham really took advantage of it.
And it's entertaining.
Huge result at Goodison Park. Everton 0, Arsenal Football Club 1. Right? Arsenal going into Goodison. They haven't won there since Wenger. It's been a while, so that's why it's kind of important for this Arsenal side. And I've seen a lot of I'm getting reminded of it more on Twitter and things like this, of how significant this is. They haven't won there in so long, but Everton, they're just fucking terrible.
I mean,
they're just so bad.
There were some moments there that, you know, they were trying to hold on as best as they can right before the goal, and they did do okay. Maybe some glimpses for the future of what they can produce,
had
but
nothing, man. They didn't look like scoring.
No, but they did.
All.
They
like,
did
they had
almost
maybe 1 or 2
draw.
shots I can think of.
I mean,
I can't even think of 2. I can maybe think of 1.
They didn't
and it
have a
wasn't
great
even that
game
great chance at all.
because they're not a great team.
But it's crazy.
I mean, there
So
were some
bad.
players there that didn't have bad performances.
What's up with Arsenal though? How they only win 1? I know probably because of the fact they haven't won there in so long, and maybe some of that business to do with it.
The Everton fans are rowdy. We know they will get up for any game, no matter how bad their team is. So you can't really fault them in any way for Everton not playing well. But you can say it had an effect on Arsenal.
Arsenal Mikel Arteta choosing to start Raya and Fabio Vieira for Havertz. And after the game saying him subbing Raya for Ramsdale is just the same as him subbing Vieira for Havertz. I don't agree. It's a goalie. I think the goalie needs to be your goalie.
You need to get a run of games
in the Prem
with the occasional Carabao Cup sit out.
Cup sesh or whatever. But it was kind of interesting. I don't think Ramsdale's really deserved to be benched yet. Do I think he's better than Raya? No. But I do think he still deserves his place right now. So,
make that up what you will.
Interesting.
And for what you all have been waiting for, we know United ruined my weekend. Once again. God, I hate this team sometimes, man. Like, this was just one of those performances.
Absolutely abysmal.
That was just tough to sit through and watch. You know, we have a decent team. Our team is not the best team when you look at it on paper in the league. Or, I mean, honestly, you could even argue the top 3 teams on paper, especially with our injuries right now. But this is Brighton. We know how good they are. For them to underestimate these guys and think that just because you controlled the game for 20, 25 minutes means that you're going to just coast and just eventually get that goal, you're dead wrong. These guys are so good and so well drilled by De Zerbi that it's a joke at this point. No matter who they have in, they will perform.
I think that's the biggest point you just made right there. No matter who they have in, right? I want to tell you who they had on the bench to start this game. Brighton. Okay, Brighton. They're good, right? But we don't think going into Old Trafford owning Man United pretty much good. They fairly much just bend you over their knee and spank you, okay? Let me tell you. Ansu Fati, young Barcelona, you know, you could call him a reject, but like he's a young Barcelona kid, he's got the promise, you know, he's good. Evan Ferguson, this kid we've all been spouting about. João Pedro, another young, promising striker. Billy Gilmore and James Milner with some experience. Like, they had Danny Welbeck up front. They had Tariq Lamptey, who didn't even really feature last year.
Well, and I think part of the problems is, one, we're playing a new system. This is a completely new system with 2 strikers, 4 midfielders that play.
With the diamond, bro. What is that?
But the thing is, though,
what is that?
For the first 25 minutes, United dominated. They held the ball. They had so many opportunities. They played so well, and then De Zerbi makes 1 or 2 tweaks, and then they get countered on like that. And then from then on, we're chasing the game. We can't control it as much. It just goes all downhill from there. Brighton are that team, kind of like for City, that Tottenham are. No matter what form either team is in, it seems like Tottenham always can pull out a result, whether it be a draw or a win against City. They're just that team for us. They are so good, and they know how to play the De Zerbi way, and we just couldn't do anything after the first 2 goals.
Absolutely played off the park. I ain't gonna lie to you. These goals by Brighton were all beautiful. I mean, I don't know if it's the players' efforts. I don't know if it was the tactics behind it. I don't know if we're still blaming the owners. I don't know. But that was not a acceptable Manchester United home performance whatsoever against any team. Any team, let alone Brighton.
I agree, but let's also add context to this. We always have to do that because
United
this
fans
game,
love that.
No, okay, yeah, you look at it in a vacuum, they lose 3-1 on paper. That's a horrible performance. They must have played horrible for 90 minutes.
They did.
Not the case. No, because if that goal that was scored by Haaland stands by what I honestly, to me, looked like it was still in. There were angles that it looks like it's still in. We never got the bird's eye view, which we should have, but it doesn't go in. If that would have, that game would have been completely different, and you can't tell me that's any different. It didn't though, so that's all that matters. Yes, at the end of the day, we lost 3-1, but once again, it's not the worst result that I've seen at Old Trafford in the last 5 years. Last 2 years, yes, because we have been able to make it kind of a fortress again. But the performance was poor, but there's also context to everything.
Fortress got taken the fuck down. End it!
That's all we got this week. Obviously, you would like to see me get more pissed off, but here at this point, it's just acceptance. You accept what's going on.
How many weeks in a row are we going to go? I'm telling you, when United do win, we're going to have the biggest, United-themed thumbnail. Just because, even when they draw, let's find out when they get a draw. They're going to face Bayern Munich in the Champions League, okay? Champions League coming, okay? That's what you have to look forward to. Come back for that news.
Prediction. We win at Allianz Arena. Listen. This is the most United thing ever. This is what's going to happen. We're going to win. We'll get the 3 points, do well in the Champions League, whatever. But then after that, we're going to lose to Burnley next week. Watch it.
Who knows?